So, a lot of you guys have been asking me about manifestation, oddly enough, because that's what I love to talk about. Lies. Actually, I love to talk about the subconscious, right? The subconscious is where it all happens. The subconscious is, we are constantly manifesting. We are constantly manifesting. And the subconscious is what determines what we're manifesting. The subconscious is what determines what we pull in. The subconscious is what determines what's in front of us at all times. And it's constantly going, right? It's going on autopilot, right? So being aware and deliberate with your thoughts, which is what I teach, is so essential. So with this manifestation thing, and you guys asking me about it, I noticed, right, with the clients that I took through Vision to Mission, like I took them through a series of modules, but the second module was about the subconscious. And when we worked together during the 6-week process, all I did was sort of dig into them to see, how are you in your way? And what are you doing that has you not getting over your hurdle, right? What are you doing? How are you in your way? And so we got through that, and throughout the 6 weeks, they were cool, copacetic, everything was fine. They got what they needed. And after that, right, after they finished, hey, normalizing nutrition, I like that. After normalizing, after they got all of their subconscious crud out of the way, things just started to come to them. Like they just started to manifest and bring in these things into their reality, right? And it was beautiful to watch that. And I would get like texts like, I don't know what you did, but like, this is magic, right? One person called it magic. It's like, this is amazing. But it wasn't what we were working on. However, they became deliberate with their thoughts, and they became deliberate with their energy and their time, right? That's one of the things that is like a pet peeve of mine, and it's a pet peeve of mine because it was so hard for me to, I guess I had anger issues, right? And when you have anger issues, you give your energy away unknowingly, right? It's like you've given your mind away. You haven't even lost it. You've given your mind away, and you're at the liberty and you're subject to your environment, right? So if something is into your environment, it pops into your environment, and you just have to react to it. You have to respond to it. And I hated that. I hated that. So it was like my goal to be deliberate with my energy and my time and my mind, right? To get that back, and to only have, or to only give that privilege to certain people to be able to make me upset, right? So in being that deliberate with your thoughts, you also start to realize the thoughts that you don't want in your head that are sort of controlling what you're doing, right? So with that there, you're realizing how much time you're spending thinking about what you don't want. How much time you're spending thinking about the thing that you're like, I'm done with that. How much energy and feeling you're giving to the things that you no longer want in your life, the things that make you sick, the things that make you mad, the things that make you angry, the thing that your coworker did, the thing that the traffic is doing to you, the thing that your parent might have done, or that your child, right? And as your mind continuously just festers in these things, that's where your vibration is going to be, right? That's where your energy level is going to be. And that's going to be the exact same thing that you continue to get, right? So when you can become deliberate enough with your thoughts to where you then only think about and put your energy where you want it to be, then you start to pull in the things that you want to. You no longer have to worry about or have to even give your energy over to something that you don't care about, or to this person that you don't want to deal with, to this thing that you didn't even want to have in your life, right? So with all that, they were just manifesting like this, bringing things in, pulling guys in. Like one person texted me and she said, I think like 3 guys in one day, like all hit her up, like from her past. And I was like, what is happening? It's because she was feeling so damn good and so damn deliberate about what she's been doing for the last couple weeks that it's happening that way. And for some people who think, like, well, I've been trying to do it. I've been being deliberate. Like I've been doing the affirmations. I've been doing the visualizations. I don't like meditating, right? For those types of people and for people in general who have different experiences. For some people, it's just going to take longer because you have much more crud in your head, more head crud, right? Because you've grown up in different environments that you are just reacting to, where somebody else may be in an environment where they don't have to react so much, right? So it really depends on where you've come from that will determine how long it takes for you to change and train your brain to be different, right? So it might be, look, I've been doing all this stuff and it's not working for me. Well, that means that there's something in your subconscious that's still blocking you. You're in your way somehow. That's right. So that's all I did with them, as I helped them figure out themselves, right? So they don't need me. I don't want people to need me forever. That's not the business I'm in, right? But I want to teach you to be able to figure it out yourself, right? Because it's not difficult. It's really not hard. It's just seeing a bit of what's my story that I'm telling myself, right? If there's something that you want in your life, and if you were to be asked, why don't you have it? The thing that comes out of your mouth as a reply to that is the narrative and the story that you're telling yourself, and that's the thing that you need to get over, right? That's the thing, and everything attached to that, right? So that can be the tree, and every branch around that it's probably not true. It's probably not all true. It's just either you don't want to get over the hump, or you don't believe that it's possible for you, or you've convinced yourself, or your environment has convinced you that this type of thing isn't for people like me, or it would take a lot for me to do that. And really, I don't want to put in the work. So case in point, some people might want a relationship, right? Or they might want to be a millionaire, but you don't want to do the work, right? You want a snatched body, but you don't want to go to the gym. So it's that same concept in different aspects in your life, right? So you think about, what do I say I want? What do I say I want? Whether it be just peace of goddamn mind, right? Whether it just be peace of mind, but your brain, the brain plays tricks on us. The brain is used to whatever it's normally getting. So in my case, the brain was easily reacting to, I was angry, I was mad, Regina mad, right? That's how it was. So I had to untrain my brain from being so angry at everything, because it was just comfortable, right? And even when you try to change, your brain is used to a certain amount of chemicals every day, every moment, right? So when it's not getting it, it's going to look for reasons to then find it. Right? And when you're looking for those reasons to find it, when you're trying to suppress it, it's not going to feel good. It's not going to feel good. It's going to feel like something is wrong. It's going to feel like something is missing. It's going to feel like it's not quite right. Okay? So, and then when you're doing this, you have to know that there is value in not doing that in order to keep it going, or else you just go back to where you are, especially if you don't take yourself out of the environment, right? Especially if you don't create the environment yourself, right? Especially if you just feel like you're subject to what's happening in your environment. So the subconscious thing is highly important when it comes to bringing things in, because I'll say it again, I'll say it over and over and over again, we are constantly manifesting. Everything in your environment right now, you have bought in, yes? So it's a matter of whether or not we want to do it deliberately or by default. Everybody's walking around doing it by default. Let's try and do it deliberately, right? And with that said, how much are you in your way? Like what kind of shit is in your subconscious, right? The things that you think you might have been over might not be over them, right? The things that you think, I'm bigger than that doesn't bother me anymore. Take inventory of maybe how you behave throughout your day. Take inventory of the decisions you make, right? A lot of us make decisions based off of what we don't know rather than what we do know, right? A lot of us make decisions out of fear that's disguised as practicality, right? Jim Carrey said that. I love that, right? We make decisions saying, I'm being real. I'm being realistic, right? I'm being realistic. I can't do that in this amount of time. I don't have the money for that, right? But it's more fear-based, and we describe it as being practical because it's safe. And all that is learned. Everything that we do is learned. And because everything that we do is learned, we can unlearn it. But if it took 30 years to learn to do this behavior, it's not going to be a month's worth of affirmations. It's not going to be maybe 3 months worth of visualizing, but actually for some things it is. For some things that happens really fast and you can get delivered with your thoughts and I have that head crud in the way, right? So when you are able to focus in on what it is that you want and not be distracted by what you've been conditioned to pay attention to, right? By what you've been conditioned to learn by your environment, just reacting to what you normally react to, right? It's like it's becoming another being, really. It's like changing your whole mind, completely changing your mind, training your brain again. So I say all this to say, I was really proud to see that they were able to just pull these things in. I want to check in on them again soon, actually, to see how they are now. And so I didn't create a whole new program for this. I'm not creating a whole new program, but I will work with people one-on-one regarding their own subconscious head crud, right? Regarding their own subconscious shit to see how are you in your way? Like, what are you doing on autopilot that you can't stop doing? What do you need to do in order to just 180 that, like completely reverse it? What needs to happen? And then accountability, right? You need accountability for you saying, I want this, right? Oh. And then I didn't even mention that some of us want things that we don't really truly want, that aren't really aligned with us, right? So then we think we want something and we build our life up, we stack our life up to go after this goal. And then when we get there, we realize this isn't what I want, and then we're unhappy, right? Or we're told you should do this thing. This is what will make you happy, right? And then in our minds, in our brains, subconsciously, okay, I have to do this, I have to do this, I have to do that, but it doesn't feel good. So it's like, oh, I'm this step closer. I can one more month and I can be there. But we don't actually get there. It never comes to manifest because we don't truly want it. That's not what we really want, right? So that's when your mind and your subconscious is already on its own starting to break away from what you've been trained to do. Because like, I don't want to do it anymore. Case in point, what happened to me being a therapist for 10 years and then realizing this isn't my bag, right? This is what I was told was going to get me money and what was going to get me happy. And it did all that stuff, but just deep down inside, I was like, this is fucking boring, right? If this is what it is, I don't want this, right? And if I can talk to people about manifestation, and make money that way, I will do it, right? And then the subconscious is really, so it's like I was close with therapy, right? I was close going into psychology, but not quite right? Close, but no cigar, right? So I've got it now. I'm pretty sure I've got it now. I've got a groove. And with this, I say again, we are constantly manifesting. It's just a matter of if we're doing it deliberately or by default, right? So I will work with people. The Vision to Mission program is still up. That's still going. However, if you want to get past your head crud, if you know that there's something that you're so close, you've been trying. Like I've tried the affirmations, I've tried the visualization, I've tried the meditation, I've tried mantras, I've tried whatever it may be that you have tried, right? But you've actually tried some shit, right? It's not like you just want somebody to tell you to make things happen and wave a magic wand. So we actually try things. You're wondering, why isn't this working for me? It's the subconscious. That's all it is. That's all it is. So if you want me to figure out what's in your way, how are you in your way? How are you not tying your shoes correctly because you keep tripping over them, right? Let me know. Leave a comment. Reach out and say, hey, I need you. I need some help over here. It's not quite working, right? I've been trying. It's not quite working. So I will leave you with that. And my Facebook group in the workspace. I'm actually, because of this change, I'm going to change the Facebook group theme, right? So I don't want to invite anybody to it yet, because if you don't want to be in there when I change the theme, then don't be in there. So that's it. That's all for today. So this was manifestation preparation, right? Knowing what's in your subconscious and why you're not quite getting what you want to get. So I will leave you all with that. If you're coming in late, go ahead and watch it or rewatch it, and I will see you guys later. Instagram, Facebook, you're my favorite. You know you're my favorite.